This is the ending of Wait Till Helen Comes, as promised a couple months ago. Started on page 156. As I got my bearings and started swimming, towing Heather, I heard a weeping sound. It wasn't the wind in the trees. It wasn't the lapping of the water. It was Helen. In front of me, behind me, to the right, to the left, sobbing and moaning, clutching at Heather with icy fingers, she begged me to give her back. "She's mine, she's mine," Helen wept. "Don't take her from me." I felt a terrible chill as her fingers seized my ankles. "Give her back to me, or I'll take you both to the bottom of the pond," she cried. "Get away!" I kicked her viciously. "Leave us alone!" "Give her to me!" Helen was in front of me now, so close I could see right into her horrible eyes. "You must! She has my locket, and she's mine! Mine!" "No!" My feet found the bottom, and I fumbled for the chain twisted around Heather's neck. Snapping it with my fingers, I hurled the silver heart as far as I could. As it disappeared into the rain, I cried, "There, take your locket, but not Heather. You can't have her." Helen moaned and turned from us to pursue the locket. Without her to slow me down, I was soon dragging Heather out of the pond. Laying her down on the ground, I crouched beside her. She was so still, so pale. "Don't be dead, Heather," I whispered. "Please don't be dead." Covering her mouth with mine, I tried to remember what we had learned in school about mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. "Breathe," I thought. "Breathe." Finally, she gasped and choked, opened her eyes, and stared at me. For a moment, she didn't seem to recognize me. Then, her eyes filled with shock. "Molly," she whispered. "Molly, what are you doing here? Where is Helen?" She twisted her head frantically from side to side, trying to locate Helen. "She's gone," I said, glancing fearfully over my shoulder. The rain hid the pond, hid Helen. Forever, I hoped. "No," Heather cried. "No, she can't be gone. She promised to take me with her." "Helen!" she called out. "Helen!" "She's gone," I whispered, trying to hush her. "Gone." Heather struggled against me, trying to get up. "Let me go, Molly. I want to be with Helen, not you. Let me go!" The rain poured down my face, blinding me, but I held on to Heather's skinny little body. Dragging her to her feet, I began climbing the hill toward the house. I had to get Heather out of the rain. I had to warm her somehow, dry her off. The church was too far away, but if I got her into Harper House, we would have at least a little shelter. "Helen! Helen!" Heather shrieked. "Don't leave me!" Again, she tried to break away, struggling so fiercely that I could feel the bones in her arms twisting in my grip. "Let me go with my friend, my only friend," she wept piteously, suddenly collapsing against me. "She's not your friend," I yelled. "She tried to kill you." "No, no, she just wanted to take me with her. She loves me. She loves me best of all. She doesn't hate me like you do." "I don't hate you." I gripped her arms tightly, my face inches from hers. "I wouldn't have pulled you out of the pond if I hated you. I'd have let you drown." Heather continued to sob. "If you knew me, really knew me, you'd hate me. Even Daddy would hate me if he knew everything about me." Heather looked behind her at the pond. "But she doesn't hate me. She knows everything, and she understands. We're just alike, she and I, just alike." Heather's tears mingled with the rain on her face. "Heather!" A cry came from somewhere in the rain, blown to us on the wind, a chilling and terrible cry. "Heather, where are you?" Despite my grip, Heather broke free and ran toward the pond. "I'm coming, Helen. I'm coming!" she cried as I ran after her. Catching up with her at the water's edge, I tackled her and threw her flat on her face in the weeds. She fought me, her wet clothes and skin making it hard to hold on to her, but she finally gave up and lay still, weeping. her body shaking with sobs. "I can't find her," she cried. Her hand went to her throat. Her fingers fumbled for the locket. "Where is it?" she cried. "What did you do with it?" "I gave it back to her." I peered into the rain, thinking I saw Helen's pale form hovering under a nearby willow tree. "She can't take you if you're not wearing it, can she?" "How could you do it?" Heather wept. "How could you? My only friend. My only friend." Struggling to my feet, I half carried, half dragged Heather toward Harper House. To my relief, she seemed to have lost her strength, her will to fight me. Faintly, I could hear Helen crying, but Heather seemed oblivious to everything. As limp as a doll, she allowed me to haul her into the ruins. Soaked to the skin, shivering with cold, we both needed dry clothes and warmth, but the best I could do was the room Michael and I had found the last time we'd been here. At least the little bit of roof over our heads would protect us from the rain. "This way, Heather." I guided her through the door, stepping carefully on the floorboards. "Maybe we can find matches here, light a fire or something." My teeth were chattering so hard I could barely speak, but Heather wasn't listening anyway. Listlessly, she stared straight ahead, walking by my side like a zombie or the victim of a terrible disaster. Halfway across the floor, I heard a splintering sound. The boards under our feet gave way, and the two of us plunged downward, still holding on to each other as we fell, too frightened even to cry out.